Have you ever felt like you're being pushed away? Like no matter how kind your heart is, people just can't stay near you. You walk into a room, and suddenly the atmosphere changes. They look, but they don't see you. They smile, but something in their eyes says they don't understand you. Let me tell you something that might change the way you see everything. You're not being rejected, you're being protected. When Allah chooses a soul, He doesn't put them in the spotlight. He hides them to refine them, to protect their light. Because some lights are too pure to be dimmed by the crowd. What if your loneliness, your silence, your separation is not a punishment, but a sign that you're one of the rare ones? Let's uncover the powerful truth behind why they can't come near you. 1. You carry a light that exposes their darkness. When Allah blesses your heart with Noor, His divine light, it doesn't stay hidden inside you. It begins to shine through the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the calmness in your eyes, and the peace in your silence. People may not understand what it is, but they feel it. And for some, that light is comforting, but for others, it's uncomfortable. You see, when your intentions are pure, it silently exposes the insincerity of others. When you choose honesty, it reflects their dishonesty. When you walk with humility, it makes their arrogance visible. Your very presence becomes a mirror, and not everyone likes what they see in their own reflection. That's why some people will distance themselves. They may ignore you, avoid you, or even speak against you, not because you've harmed them, but because your light threatens the darkness they're not ready to confront. It's not your fault. It's a natural reaction. When a bright light enters a dark room, the eyes hurt before they adjust. Your light is that powerful. And until they are ready to purify their own hearts, they simply cannot stand too close to you. So don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Don't lower your standards to be accepted. If Allah gave you that Noor, then it's a sign that you're meant to lead, not follow. And those who are meant to walk with you will be drawn to that light, not blinded by it. 2. Allah is preserving you for something greater. When you feel left out, unseen, or overlooked, it's easy to think something is wrong with you. But in reality, nothing is wrong. Allah is not ignoring you, He is preserving you. You see, when Allah has written a greater purpose for someone's life, He doesn't rush their exposure to the world. He hides them. He places them in situations that may seem quiet, even lonely, because that's where deep transformation happens. Look at the stories of the prophets. Musa, peace be upon him, was raised in Pharaoh's palace, but spent years in exile before returning with strength and purpose. The prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would retreat to the cave of Hira, spending long nights in silence before the first revelation arrived. That solitude wasn't a punishment, it was a divine preparation. When Allah loves someone, He doesn't throw them into the spotlight. He develops them in the shadows. He removes harmful people from their path, slows down certain plans, and protects them from situations that would distract or destroy their mission. You may be praying for connection, recognition, success, but Allah knows the exact timing. He's not delaying your life. He's preserving it like a rare gem, waiting for the perfect moment to unveil it. So don't rush what Allah is doing in secret. Trust the silence, because when the time is right, the same world that ignored you will wonder where you got your strength from, and you'll know. You were hidden by Allah for something far greater than what you could have ever planned. 3. Your energy cannot be mixed with everyone. Not every soul is meant to walk beside you. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, your time, or your presence. When Allah chooses to protect you, He doesn't just guard you from harm, He also separates you from the wrong people. Why? Because your spirit is sacred, your energy is rare, you have a calmness, a sincerity, a light that's not easily found in this world. If Allah were to let you mix freely with everyone, you would become drained. confused, or even spiritually harmed. Because not everyone around you has a clean heart. Some people carry jealousy in their words, others carry confusion in their advice, and some unknowingly carry poison in their presence. You may have noticed this. Every time you try to fit in, you feel uncomfortable. When you force relationships, they fall apart. You get exhausted in crowds and feel peace when you're alone with your Lord. That's not a coincidence. That's protection. Just as a doctor keeps medicine sealed and separate from contamination, Allah keeps His chosen servants spiritually guarded. He removes the people who are not good for you, even if you think you need them. He creates distance from crowds, not because you're unworthy, but because your purpose requires clarity, focus, and purification. So when people walk away, let them. When doors close, don't chase them. Because Allah is not just protecting your heart, He's protecting your energy, your growth, and your future. You're not meant to be everywhere. You're meant to be exactly where your soul can grow, close to Him. 4. You're not meant to be popular. You're meant to be pure. In today's world, popularity has become the ultimate measure of success. We live in a society where the loudest voices are often the ones that get the most attention. The more followers you have, the more your value is perceived to rise. We see it on social media, in the streets. Attention is power, and power is what many people crave. But let me ask you something. What is the cost of that popularity? Popularity can be fleeting. It can be built on the wrong foundation. When you're constantly in the spotlight, you're constantly exposed to the world's temptations, distractions, and the opinions of others. People begin to project their expectations onto you, sometimes asking you to be someone you're not, or leading you to chase things that aren't aligned with your true purpose. It is easy to lose yourself in the pursuit of acceptance from people who don't even know your true essence. But Allah, in His wisdom, does not want that for you. He doesn't need you to be popular to validate your worth. He doesn't measure your significance by the number of people who know your name or follow your every move. Allah is not concerned with your fame. He is concerned with your purity. When you are chosen by Allah, He often hides you from the crowd, not to punish you, but to protect your heart from the distractions of worldly praise and the pressures that come with it. His protection is not about keeping you in isolation. It's about preparing you. In the quiet, in the solitude, in the moments when no one is watching, Allah refines you. He molds you into someone who is not swayed by praise or criticism. He shapes your character, builds your faith, and strengthens your resolve. This is why the prophets, including our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, didn't seek fame. They sought to serve Allah, to live righteously, and to lead with sincerity, even when they weren't in the spotlight. The Prophet, peace be upon him, lived a humble life, focused on his mission, not seeking attention or recognition from others. His greatness came not from being widely adored or revered by the masses at the time, but from his unwavering purity and dedication to Allah. Popularity, in the eyes of Allah, is not about the number of people who follow you, but about the sincerity in your heart and your closeness to Him. Purity is the true measure of success. When you are purified in the sight of Allah, the praise of people becomes secondary. You stop seeking validation from others because you already know you are valued in the sight of your Creator. And this, my friend, is far more powerful than any fleeting moment of fame. If Allah has kept you hidden, away from the crowd, away from the spotlight, it's because He is guarding your heart, your intentions, and your purpose. He's ensuring that you remain focused on what truly matters, not distracted by the noise of the world. The test isn't whether you're seen by others. The test is whether you remain true to your calling, whether you continue to serve Allah in silence, whether you maintain your sincerity when no one is watching. And when the time comes, Allah will elevate you in ways that no popularity contest ever could. He will raise you up, not because you've chased fame, but because you've remained true, pure, and focused on Him. And that, my friend, is a success that lasts beyond this world, far longer than any fleeting popularity ever could. So, if you find yourself in a season of solitude or feel that the world is overlooking you, remember, you are being prepared for something far greater than popularity. You are being shaped to stand firm, to remain pure, and to rise in ways that will honor not just yourself, but your Creator. You are meant to be pure, not popular, because Allah is preparing you for greatness beyond the world's understanding. 5. Their jealousy would harm you. One of the harshest truths in life is that not everyone who smiles at you wishes you well. In fact, some of the people closest to you may not fully understand the light you carry, and that misunderstanding can give birth to envy. Jealousy is an emotion that hides behind kindness, wearing the mask of friendship or admiration, but underneath, it's poisonous. And if left unchecked, it can harm you more than you realize. This is why Allah keeps His chosen ones hidden. It's not just the protection of your heart, but also the protection of your blessings. When you are surrounded by those who don't understand the depth of your purpose or the purity of your intentions, they can begin to feel threatened. Your success, your peace, your integrity may shine a light on their insecurities, and rather than seeking to elevate themselves, they'll try to pull you down to their level. Jealousy is an insidious thing. It's not always visible on the surface, but it eats away at the soul. It's not just about wanting what someone else has. It's the desire to diminish their light so that your own darkness feels less heavy. People might not always show it openly, but when someone is jealous of you, they are silently hoping for your failure. They may not even realize they're doing it, but their words, actions, or even their energy can begin to affect your spirit. This is why Allah sometimes removes certain people from your life, not as a punishment to them, but as a means of preserving your blessings. Because Allah knows that jealousy can harm you, even when it comes from those you never expected. Jealousy doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it's from those closest to you, friends, family, even people who claim to have your best interests at heart. And this is one of the most painful truths. When those you love or admire harbor resentment, it can be emotionally devastating. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, shields you from this harm. He places a veil of protection around your spirit, ensuring that you're not consumed by negativity or sabotaged by the envy of others. When Allah keeps you distant from certain people, it's because He sees what you cannot. He knows the quiet whispers of their heart, the unsaid thoughts that, if they were to fester, would tear at the fabric of your soul. It's in these moments that the words of Allah's Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, echo with truth. Beware of envy, for envy eats up good deeds like fire eats up wood. This hadith is a reminder of the dangers of jealousy, not just in others, but also in ourselves. If we are not careful, we too can fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others and feeling discontent with what Allah has blessed us with. But when someone is envious of you, it's more than just a moment of comparison. It becomes a spiritual threat. Protecting you from this jealousy is Allah's mercy in action. The people He removes from your life might seem like a loss, but in reality, they are part of His divine plan to preserve your peace, your blessings, and your future. When people are envious, they don't just want what you have. They want to take away your peace, to disrupt your calm, to dull the shine of the light Allah has given you. And Allah will not allow that. He will hide you from those who wish you harm, even if their harm is not intentional. He will protect you from the negativity that others may bring into your life, so that you can continue your journey without being weighed down by feelings of betrayal, resentment, or doubt. So, when you find yourself separated from people or situations that once seemed familiar, don't grieve. Trust in the protection of Allah. His wisdom is far beyond what we can comprehend. He removes those who would harm your spirit and blesses you with the space to grow, to flourish, and to shine. The people who are meant to be in your life will never be driven away by jealousy. The ones who truly wish you well will celebrate your growth, your success, and your peace, never allowing envy to cloud their love for you. Remember, Allah's protection of you is not about keeping you hidden from the world forever. It's about preserving your soul until the right people, the ones who will help you rise, are ready to stand with you. Those who envy your blessings cannot understand them, and that's why Allah keeps them away from you. He knows who is good for you, and He knows who will drain your energy. Trust that when He removes them, it's because He loves you enough to keep you safe from their negative influence. 6. You're being tested in private before being raised in public. There's a divine truth that many people fail to understand. Before you are elevated, you are tested in the silence. Before the world sees your success, your inner strength must be forged in the quiet, unseen places. It's in the solitude that Allah sharpens your character, your resilience, and your trust in Him. This period of hidden preparation is not a punishment, but a blessing, a time to grow, learn, and build a foundation that can withstand the pressures that will come when you are elevated in the public eye. Consider the stories of the prophets and great figures in history. Musa, peace be upon him, spent years in exile tending sheep and living in isolation before he was chosen by Allah to lead the Israelites. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent 13 years in Makkah enduring persecution and hardship before the mission of Islam spread to the world. Their journeys were not marked by instant glory, but by struggle and patience in moments when no one was watching, when it seemed like nothing was happening. These private trials were their training ground. You too are being shaped in the silence. The pain, the uncertainty, the times when you feel like you are walking this journey alone, they are not signs of abandonment, but moments of divine refinement. Every test you face in private is preparing you for something far greater. And when the time comes for you to rise, you will be able to handle the weight of your responsibilities, the pressure of attention, and the expectations of others, because you will have learned to stand firm without relying on external validation. These private tests are about building your inner strength, your resilience, and your trust in Allah's plan. When you are hidden, it is a time for you to focus on your purpose, not on the applause or acknowledgement from others. It's in these moments of solitude that Allah perfects your character. The struggle you endure, though unseen, is the foundation of the strength that will carry you when the world starts to notice your success. If Allah is testing you in private, it's because He is preparing you for public elevation. He doesn't give responsibility to those who haven't been tested by trials. He doesn't place His chosen ones in leadership until He is certain that their hearts are solid and their faith is unwavering. This phase of your journey, when it feels like everything is moving slowly, when it feels like your prayers are unanswered and your dreams are delayed, is the time when Allah is doing the most work within you. He is fortifying your heart. He is strengthening your patience. He is teaching you to rely solely on Him, not on the opinions of others or the recognition of the world. And here's something important to remember. When Allah raises you, He doesn't raise you for your benefit alone. He raises you to benefit others. The elevation comes with responsibility, with service, with the burden of leadership. If you were given that responsibility before you were ready, you might not have been able to handle it. You might have been distracted by pride, overwhelmed by pressure, or broken by the weight of expectations. But Allah loves you too much to expose you to that kind of challenge before your time. Your current struggles, the loneliness, the testing, the isolation, this is all preparation for the great things Allah has planned for you. Every tear you shed, every prayer you make in the quiet of the night, every moment you feel as though you are alone, these are the steps that build your strength. And when Allah finally raises you, the world will see a person who is not only capable but spiritually grounded, emotionally balanced, and fully aware of the immense responsibility that comes with success. You will know how to stay humble, you will know how to keep your intentions pure, and you will know how to rise above the challenges because you were tested in private. Trust the process. Just because you can't see the outcome doesn't mean the growth isn't happening. It's like a tree that grows in silence beneath the ground, its roots expanding, strengthening, and preparing it to stand tall when the time comes. Your growth is happening in ways you can't always see, but Allah is working behind the scenes, building you up to be a person who can handle the greatness that is to come. Remember, the elevation that comes after the test is not just a reward. It is a testament to your resilience, your patience, and your trust in Allah. When you are elevated, you will stand firm because you know that everything you've endured was part of Allah's perfect plan. So hold on to your faith, stay patient, and keep moving forward, even when it feels like no one is watching, because Allah is watching, and when He is ready, He will raise you in a way that only He can. 7. You belong to the path of the prophets. One of the most powerful and humbling realizations is that if you're being hidden, if you're facing hardship, if you're feeling rejected or overlooked, you are not alone in your struggle. You are walking a path that has been walked by the most revered individuals in history, and that path is the path of the prophets. Think about it. Every prophet sent by Allah was tested in ways we can't even begin to understand. They were not immune to suffering or rejection. They were not given easy lives. In fact, their lives were marked by hardship, exile, rejection, and even betrayal. Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, was thrown into a fire by his own people for his faith. Prophet Yusuf, Joseph, peace be upon him, was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and left to rot in prison. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, endured years of persecution in Makkah, was forced to leave his home and his people, and was even faced with the loss of his loved ones. Yet, despite the immense struggles they faced, they never lost faith in Allah. They never doubted the wisdom behind their trials. They remained steadfast in their mission, knowing that the difficulties were part of their divine preparation. If you're feeling hidden, or you're going through struggles that seem unfair or overwhelming, understand this. You are following the footsteps of those who were chosen by Allah to deliver the truth to the world. Your trials are not a sign of Allah's displeasure, they are a sign of His love and His trust in you. Just as the prophets were tested in private before they were elevated in public, you are being prepared for a greater mission. Every prophet faced rejection before their message was accepted. They were ignored, ridiculed, and mocked. They were rejected by their communities, by their own families, and by those who were supposed to support them. But in the end, it was their persistence, their faith, and their obedience to Allah that led them to success. And through their trials, they not only grew in strength, but became beacons of hope, guidance, and mercy for the world. And here's the thing, if you are walking the path of the prophets, it means Allah has great plans for you. He doesn't choose the weak. He doesn't choose those who are easily defeated. He doesn't choose those who will give up when the going gets tough. Allah chooses those who can withstand the storm, those who will stand firm in their faith despite the waves crashing around them. You may feel hidden right now, and that might make you feel disconnected from the world around you. You might be wondering why your efforts don't seem to be paying off, but know that this feeling of being hidden is just part of the divine plan. It's your moment of preparation, your time to grow, your time to strengthen your trust in Allah. You are not called to blend in with the world. You are called to stand apart. You are called to follow a path that is not always popular, not always easy, and not always understood by others. But that's the path that leads to something far greater than anything the world can offer. In your moments of solitude, in your times of hardship, in your seasons of being hidden from the world, remember that the prophets were once in your shoes. They were tested in ways that made them doubt, made them cry, made them question, but they never lost their trust in Allah's plan, and that is the path you're walking right now. So hold on. When the world feels heavy, and when you feel like you're not being seen, remember that you are walking a path that is filled with the light of those who came before you. You are not meant to follow the crowd. You are meant to lead them, just as the prophets did. And the trials you're facing right now are simply the stepping stones that will lead you to your purpose. You will rise, and when you do, your light will shine bright. And just like the prophets, you will be a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and a leader for those who are lost and in need of guidance. So, never feel discouraged when the world doesn't notice your struggle. Allah notices it, and He is preparing you for something far greater than anything the world can see right now. You belong to the path of the prophets, a path of strength, patience, and ultimate victory. If you're feeling hidden, rejected, or overlooked, remember this: Allah is preparing you for something greater. Your struggles, your isolation, and your silence are not signs of abandonment. They are steps in the divine plan. You are walking the path of the prophets, chosen for a purpose far beyond what you can see right now. Trust that Allah is refining you, protecting you, and guiding you to your true calling. When the time is right, the world will see your light, and you will rise stronger than ever before.